just got through our first mini storm. A lot of ice took down the power, but we survived in our 5-wheel bump out. And we are now going into town. But we all had to huddle together in a bed, right?
Mm-hmm.
How'd you feel last night? Were you comfortable?
A little bit, but not fully.
So hopefully keep our fingers crossed, our power comes back on by, they said 4 or 5 o'clock tonight. So please.
So we are going to now move on to a project I'm actually very excited about. We're going to build our heat shield wall and hearth for our wood stove. We've done a lot of research. We know what we need to do to meet all of the codes for the heat shield. And also what's important is looking up the owner's manual for your specific stove and making sure that you're following their guidelines. So just to update you guys on what we're doing right now, we figured out exactly how we want everything to be in our great room, and we want our wood burning stove to be right in line with our farmhouse table. We were looking at first squaring up the middle of the piping with this post. This is kind of where we've just always talked about doing it. But when you look up, you see that that goes into a rafter. So we don't want to be running stovepipe through a rafter. So we made our adjustments so that we're going to be going up directly through this one. We're actually going to install the floor tile hearth first. By doing that first, it allows us not to have to use any of the pressure treated wood because nothing is going to be touching the ground directly. So our cement board, our studs we're putting in, our metal studs, everything will be on top of the tile hearth so that it's separated from the flooring. Get it a little bit cleaner to get this extra dirt and dust up is probably an extra step. Maybe we need it, maybe we don't. But I feel like if there's absolutely no dirt on the ground or as much of it that we can get rid of, the adherence would be better. So we got up all of the loose grime, but I just want to get it wiped down. This is going to be 5 feet wide by 6 feet deep. That'll accommodate everything we need to make sure that the clearances are all correct around the stove. So, ready to start?
Yep.
Moving tiles?
Yep.
That you already brought in?
Yep.
Are they heavy?
Yep. Yep, 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 yep.
Okay. right, so I think we're pretty happy with the way that our pattern is at this point. We matched up the tones really well, made sure that there wasn't too many that looked similar close together. Oh my goodness, we're gonna have a hearth. All right, so the hearth is in with a thin set. So now we have to wait 24 to 48 hours for that to cure really well. Then we can grout it. But what we're gonna do in between is we're gonna also build up the wall for the heat shield behind it. It's a little cold this morning, that's why we have our gloves and everything on, but it's actually going to get warm over the next couple days. So it's a perfect time for us to work on getting our heat shield installed for our wood burning stove. And we're going to get all of that solidified so that in the next couple days when the wood stove is delivered, we can get it all installed, the stovepipe run, and then by the time we go into the next cold snap, we'll be able to use that to heat up in here as we're continuing to work on our house. So that I'm really looking forward to. I'm super excited about that for sure.
Yep. So when it comes to deciding on how you want to go and build your house, there's obviously steps that play into that consideration. Our consideration obviously is to stay warm while we work and be comfortable, because last night we wanted to work and it was really cold and we decided to wait this morning to start. So, you know, you want to be comfortable for the most part. I mean, as you could tell, we were gloved up, jacket up, double hats, hoodies, but it would be ideal if we can get that wood burning stove going and just be a little more comfortable. I think that's going to motivate us to get more done.
Switching around our original plan was a great idea because we weren't going to put the wood stove in until the end of the build. And we shuffled money around and shuffled some things around to get it in now. And I think that's just the smartest thing we could do.
And in all consideration, even though we would be more comfortable, we want to make sure anyone that comes to do, you know, work on the home is comfortable as well. I think that's fair. As a general contractor, you want to make sure that you implement a very comfortable environment for these workers.
So are you ready to get started then?
Yep, let's do it.
All right, so onto the heat shield we go. Okay, so we just read all the instructions to install the cement board, which is the USG door rock. So we wanted to make sure we're doing everything absolutely perfect. So it did say it needed 16 on center studs, which we did, except we had one gap that was like 24. So we just added an extra stud. So that's what Eric's working on right now. So it is important to to make sure.
Sorry.
It is important to make sure that you read all of those instructions, make sure that you're using all the products correctly. So we just took a minute to make sure we were right, and I'm really glad that we did because we caught that little mistake. And now we're able to add that extra stud in and not have any issues as we're installing, right? We got pretty far, as you can see behind us here on this wall. Now, one thing we came across as we were double checking yesterday and making sure that we were doing everything right is we needed to add an additional stud in there to make sure it was 16 on center. Well, we didn't account for that with our metal studs. So we're gonna need to get 2 more. And since town and driving to town is a minimum, well, we're gonna have to go actually out to Home Depot, and that for us is a little over an hour each way. So we're gonna do that tomorrow. So that's gonna be it for us this time, guys. So we will see you next time. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe, and we'll see you all soon.